I would like to say to you today, in a very honest manner, that there are some things in our society and some things in our world for which I'm proud to be maladjusted. And I call upon all men of goodwill to be maladjusted to these things until the good society is realized. I must honestly say to you that I never intend to adjust myself to racial segregation and discrimination. I never intend to adjust myself to religious bigotry. I never intend to adjust myself to economic conditions that will take necessities from the many to give luxuries to the few and leave millions of God's children smothering in an airtight cage of poverty in the midst of an affluent society.
Dr. Martin Luther King was a great man. He saw obvious and systematic discrimination within companies and the economy as a whole. So what he was doing when he was leading these civil rights, people were treated with injustice financially. Dr. King was able to minimize the inequality to the point where we are today now, where anybody can be anything with enough hard work.
This little-known U.S. senator only a few years ago, seemingly coming out of nowhere, and now he will be the first African-American president of the United States.
We've got to be intentional. We've got to know that, yes, things are difficult. Yes, it's going to be a long process. But without sacrifice, there is no victory.
I would not say that the civil rights movement is dead. It's simply that we're moving to a new phase of the movement. For well now 12 years, we struggle to end legal segregation and all of the humiliation surrounding legal segregation. So it was a struggle for decency. It was a struggle to get rid of extremist behavior toward Negroes. Now we are in a new phase, and that is a phase where we are seeking genuine equality, where we are dealing with hard economic and social issues. And it means that the job is much more difficult. It's much easier to integrate a lunch counter than it is to guarantee an annual income. It's much easier to integrate a bus than it is to get a program that will force the government to put billions of dollars into ending slums.
You know, this whole idea about Occupy Wall Street that's been going on, or that was going on, it's kind of died down now. But, you know, it's one of those things where people are upset with corporations, they're upset with the government, but it's one of those things where we have to start within.
On Saturday, more than 80 protesters were arrested as hundreds took part in yet another march to Wall Street. The New York Police Department used nets and physical force to break up the crowds. Videos uploaded to YouTube show officers pepper spraying protesters in the face from close range.
You've got to make the sacrifice to break yourself, disconnect from the system, and start a movement. And so this is what Dr. Martin Luther King was about, you know, about change, about making sure that individuals have the same equal opportunities, not only racially, but financially, community-wise, socially. All these things were encompassed in that.
We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man, not